turning 250, and it's time to rock out with our forefathers. American-made, battle-ready style for true patriots. Whether you're marching in the parade, grilling in the backyard, or raising a toast to liberty, do it in the gear that screams freedom. Celebrate 250 years of USA in style. Wear your American pride loud. Trendjackers.etsy.com. Grab yours before the fireworks.
Good idea. They just go with the flow. It's the Herschy and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Well, hello, my precious little dumplings.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening. It is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. It's the Herschy and the Keegs Show.
Hey.
Thank you for tuning in. Let's have some fun. We got some fun things happening tonight.
We do have some fun things happening tonight. It was good to see you. Thank you for calling me a dumpling. It makes me in the mood for dumplings.
It does.
Actually.
I just had a dumpling.
I assumed you did.
I did. I just went to the K-City across the street over here.
So K-City,
barbecue.
is that like a all-you-can-eat kind of joint?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
You ever go to K-City, Roach?
We got Speedy Claxton in the hole there. Right. Coach, we're going to run through some sponsors and we're going to punch you up in just about 2 minutes. Okay, Coach? The Herschy and the Keegs Show. We are super excited to bring our sponsorship into this conversation. That's Sophia right. Jewelry at 134 Gardners Avenue, right here in Levittown, specializing in diamonds, vintage jewelry. Go see Omid for all of your buying and selling needs. Mention Herschy and the Keegs for a 15% off appraisal. Or is it a free appraisal we're doing now?
It's a free appraisal.
Yeah, it's free.
Now,
so not even 15%.
No, not even.
We have Platinum Chiropractic, Dr. Kimberly O'Connor. They are fully dedicated to providing chiropractic solutions to address your unique needs, whatever you're experiencing. Could be back pain, Mike, neck pain, headache, muscle tightness, tension. 516-935-3555. Right downtown in Hicksville, we got Kimberly O'Connor. Yep. New View Construction, established in 2007. They are the people to call for your finest craftsmanship and all of your general contracting needs. Call 516-924-5627 and do with confidence. And of course, we have American Restoration Solutions. When disaster strikes, they'll guide you to recovery. Call 516-662-9377 and ask for Senior Account Manager Keith Dunn. That's it. You got it. And with no further ado, the Herschy and the Keegs Show is extremely proud and happy to welcome in
Thrilled.
Coach Craig Speedy Claxton. Hello, Craig Speedy Claxton. How are you, Coach?
Great. How about you guys?
We appreciate it so much.
Great. Thanks so much, Coach. Thanks for coming.
I want to give a little props out to my friend Dennis, who obviously is a coworker of yours in the Hofstra athletics team, and he's a good buddy, and he was able to get a hold of you and pop you up for a little bit. So thank you to Dennis, and thank you to you, Coach. Obviously, Coach, the accolades are endless. Two-time American East Player of the Year, Hofstra Hall of Fame, number 10 retired by Hofstra, American East Championship, 2020 MVP, first round pick in 2000, the 20th pick overall, played in the NBA for 10 years, and the 2003 NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs. Anything else we missed, Coach?
Thanks. I think you nailed it. Pretty good.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
Pretty good job.
You know, it's like I said, it's an honor to have you on here. You've been back at Hofstra as the head coach since 2001. You originally made your legend as a player. You've been an assistant coach before that with Hofstra, and then the head coach since 2021. How did that feel when you were able to take that position in 2021? You must have just been, there must have been so many emotions for you at that point.
Yeah, I was overjoyed. I mean, this was probably my second dream come true after making it to the NBA. Like, honestly, I manifested this way back when I signed to Hofstra. I was like, you know what? I want to go somewhere where when it's all said and done and I finish playing, I want to come back and coach. So this started way back then, and that's one of the reasons why I chose Hofstra, because I wanted to go somewhere where I can come back and hopefully coach. And, you know, it happened for me.
Coach, what I'm curious about is when you left the NBA, and obviously you definitely had a run there. You were in there 10 years. You won a ring. I mean, you were back up to Tony Parker on a championship team. My assumption is you had plenty of different routes to go, but soon thereafter you became an assistant at Hofstra. How difficult or easy was that decision for you to make to go back to Hofstra University?
It's been difficult. Once I finished playing, I was actually a scout for the Warriors for 3 years before I came over to Hofstra. So I was on the team that drafted Steph, that drafted Clay, drafted Draymond. So I kind of helped build their first championship team.
That I didn't realize. That's awesome.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
So when Coach Mahali got the job at Hofstra, I knew I kind of wanted to get back east, and I just built like a beautiful home in Old Westbury from the ground up. So I know I wanted to be there and live in that space. So when Coach Mahali got the job, I went to the AD, Jeff Hathaway, and I asked him if there's any way that I get involved with the program.
What do you think it is? And we see this so often, especially with like a lot of Islanders players, but with a guy like you and Coach Catalanato, who we're going to have on the show next week. What is it about the roots that you formed on Long Island that make you want to stay on Long Island and give back and raise your families there? Tell us a little about that.
Long Island's home. You know, this is where I was born and raised. So anytime I could, you know, pay it forward and give back and, you know, do anything that I can for the next generation of great Long Islanders, I'm going to do that. So I definitely wanted to come back, you know, be at Hofstra and pay it forward to that next generation, man.
Do you ever take a look back and realize, like, a guy like you, you're a Long Island hero? We've had, Matt Serra on the show. And like I said, we're having Coach Catalanato next week. Like, guys like you who formed your greatness here on the island, do you ever take just a second to realize, like, I'm really doing a good thing here? Like, I really am, there are kids who are growing up where you came from in Hempstead, Uniondale, Valley Stream, all over Long Island who are kind of trying to follow in your footsteps. You ever give yourself a chance to think about that, Coach?
It's funny you say that because I don't, but I probably should.
Yeah.
It's not easy making it out of where I made it out of. Growing up in Hempstead, it was rough. It was a rough environment, but I persevered and I just fought and I had a dream in mind and I just pushed forward and made it happen. I didn't make anything stop me. But I think I honestly don't think Long Islanders get a lot of respect. So. We always kind of have a chip on our shoulder, man.
Yeah. You know,
Listen, I grew up in East Meadow, and we knew, in high school, we all knew who Speedy Claxton was before you were even in the NBA. You have a lot to look back on, a lot to appreciate.
and you're talking to obviously myself, my partner Mike Keegan, our producer Tony Walker. You're talking about 3 born and raised Long Island guys who have no intention of going anywhere, and certainly
love the sound of that, man. Love the sound of that. Long Island all the way.
That's it.
Yeah,
baby.
I mean, for us, like we're stand-up comics, so the clubs that we like to perform out of here. But for me and Mike and Tony, like we go to Hofstra games, we go to Yankee games, we go to Met games, the racetrack, the comedy clubs, and to me, there's no better place. I mean, I've been to other cities, but I think Long Island is the best. And
Long Island is amazing. And I remember, years back when the Nets were being sold, I thought somebody from Long Island, one of these, investors, should have bought the team and brought them to Long Island, because I really think Long Island would have got behind them.
Absolutely.
And, like even now that they're in Brooklyn, like it's still Knick country. Like everybody's still Knicks fans, but I think if they would have came to Long Island, we would have embraced them.
We would have embraced them. It's all Long Island, yeah.
And they would have been our team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Nets started out on Long Island. Rick Barry back in the 70s, so it would have been a natural progression.
They should have brought it back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the problem was, and I'm sure there was a lot of town of Hempstead stuff, that there wasn't enough money. They didn't want the taxpayers to have to pay that amount of money to build the stadium the way they wanted it. So I think the chance was there. Unfortunately, it slipped through our fingers. And you're right. I mean, no matter what the Brooklyn Nets ever do, which isn't really that much right now, they're always going to be the little brother to the Knicks.
They will always be overshadowed by the Knicks. Always.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You have the ability to say something that very, very few NCAA coaches or any coaches can say. You happen to play under 2 of the best coaches that we've ever seen in the NBA and NCAA, and Coach Jay Wright as well as Greg Popovich. How much of what you learn under them is part of you as a coach every single day?
Honestly, I'm not gonna say much, because when I played for Coach Wright, it was it was so long ago, and the college game has changed. So we didn't really run an intricate offense. Like he kind of just gave me the ball and just kind of like, all right, Speedy, make it happen for us. Go do what you do. I actually had lunch with him earlier today, so it was good to see him.
Oh, nice.
I don't get to see him much. And then Pop, the one thing I took away from Pop was to treat every one of my players the same. No matter if it's my best player or it's the last person on the roster, treat everyone the same, because in return, they're going to respect you.
Yeah. So, Coach, I mean, and certainly you can delve into this as little or as much as you want, but we know that Coach Jay Wright kind of left the sport on top. He was a 2-time champion. He could have had all the money he wanted, and he could have stayed coaching forever. There's been a lot of talk that one of the reasons Coach Jay had left was because the game has changed with the portal and the NIL. Do you think that was enough of a change that made Jay Wright decide to leave and go out on top?
Absolutely. We actually spoke about that today. We don't really get too much one-on-one time.
Sure.
But for about a good 5 to 10 minutes, we just spoke, and we were talking about the current landscape. And I told him, I said, yo, you got out at the right time. And he was like, you have no idea how many of the high major coaches call him and say to him, yo, I don't know where this college landscape is going, but I'm not enjoying it anymore. I don't know how much longer that I could do it. So it's tough right now on a lot of coaches, man.
I'm just curious, what was you just happened to have lunch with him today? Was there an event? Did you want to prepare for the show tonight?
We're going to be on Herschy and the Keegs tonight.
You said, I'm going to see Herschy and the Keegs, Coach, so I want to talk to you a little bit. How did it come about?
Nah, he just happened to be in town. He was playing golf at the Garden City Country Club.
Yeah.
And he hit me up and he asked me if I had some free time, and I'm always gonna make time. For Coach Wright. I was busy, but I rearranged my schedule to fit him in.
Coach, who are some of the people, whether it be players or coaches, that you rely on? We all, like from a comic standpoint, there are certain people that we have as mentors. Who do you consider yourself? Who's a mentor to you, or who's a former player that you still talk to that you use as a source of information?
I'm gonna say my biggest mentor is probably Coach Joe Mahalik.
Okay, the Hofstra coach. Yeah,
he was the head coach before I became the head coach at Hofstra, and he kind of taught me the college. So he kind of taught me how to see the game through a coaching lens and not a player lens. So I owe a lot to Coach Mahalik. I mean, I still run the same. I pretty much run a lot of the same system that he ran when I worked for him. So I owe a lot of my success to Coach Mahalik. So he's my biggest mentor. I speak to him frequently. Like I owe a lot to him.
No, so your coaching years as an assistant at Hofstra, were they all under Coach Mahalik? Is that correct?
Yeah, every single year was under Coach Mahalik. Like he really taught me the college game.
So, you obviously were one of the first to come out of Hofstra and make it to the NBA. I believe during Coach Mahalik's time, Justin Wright Foreman made it to the NBA, and you coached him as well as an assistant, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, Justin was actually my first ever recruit when I was assistant.
Okay.
And, he didn't have a lot of offers coming out of high school. And even his freshman year, he struggled where he didn't play at all. He averaged 1 point per game. And then the biggest thing for Justin, though, he was a workaholic. So he got with me, and he was at my office every single day wanting to work out and wanting to improve. And that's why he's so successful. And that's why he saw his game improve every single year that he was with us at Hofstra, because he would not get outworked. He was the hardest worker. He had a goal in mind, and he achieved it.
So I went to a couple of games his senior year, and there were games he was popping 30 points a game. I mean, he was a beast by the time that he graduated and then obviously made it to the NBA. And the last I checked a couple of months ago, he was still playing professionally overseas, I believe.
Yeah, he's still playing professionally overseas. In all my years at Hofstra, whether it was being the head coach or the assistant coach, Justin, he is the best scorer by far. I'm talking about whenever he had an open shot or a play broke down, it was like, all right, Justin's going to make something happen.
Yeah, he was definitely a stud. Obviously you've been at Hofstra now 5 years. You're getting ready to ramp up for another season. You're obviously working through the issues of NIL and losing players to the portal. How do you find yourself adjusting to that? Because you are a little bit old school. You come from an environment where that was not the case. So how are you dealing with that personally?
Yeah, to be in this game nowadays, you got to adjust quickly, and that's why you see a lot of older coaches that don't want to just get out of it. But it's tough. It's hard, man. We consider ourselves guard you, so we produce a lot of good guards, and it seems like now where the current landscape is, if we have a good player and we develop him, because that's what we preach. Development. We really develop our players. But now, when we do develop our guys and they're with us 1 or 2 years, we know that one of the big boys are going to come grab them, and they're going to pay them and offer them a lot of money. So, yeah. I can't even be mad at them, because a lot of them come from tough backgrounds. Like my last guy from last season, Gene Aragona. Like, he's from Venezuela. His family doesn't have anything. Yeah. I mean, they don't even have running water in their home. And he went into the portal and got a nice payday from GW. And he went and bought his mama a house.
Yeah.
Like, that is a great...
you can't be mad at him. He came from...
I can't be mad at him. Like, that's a great thing.
I mean, you did that. You helped him get there, so you can't be mad. You're probably just excited for him, the opportunity he's going to get.
I'm proud of him that he did that.
Speaking of which, and this was a couple of years ago, you had a guy that transferred into Hofstra. You had him for a couple of years. He was the 2-time Player of the Year for you. And then Aaron Estrada left and went ahead and played for Alabama. Estrada was a beast, went on to Alabama, scored 13 points a game, was in the tournament. Tell me the range of emotions you had from having a player like Estrada to losing a player like Estrada.
Yeah, he was outstanding for us, man. In his 2 years, I put him up there with Justin as far as work ethic. Like, I'm talking about there was times where we would have to beg Aaron to not be in the gym because,
Wow.
because he was just wearing himself out. I'm like, yo, dude, you have to rest a little bit. I understand the grind, and he just like Gene Aaron going, he wanted to make a better way for himself and his family because they didn't come from much. So he really worked at it, and I'm proud of him also. He stayed with me for 2 years. He was Player of the Year both those years, and then went on to Alabama and made a lot of money. He's very successful right now. But the thing I'm most proud of Aaron is he still considers Hofstra home.
Yeah.
So in the summertime, he still comes back, work out at Hofstra, play with our guys. Like he will always be family.
I think it's really a testament to what kind of chops the Hofstra program has, because it's not like he left and went to Alabama and played 3 minutes a game and scored a point a game. He was a serious, legitimate player on a big-time team in a big-time conference in the NCAA tournament, scoring 13, 14 points a game.
And the funny thing is he didn't want to leave Hofstra. He did not want to leave. Yeah. I had to force him to go into the pool. I said, no, Aaron, I will be doing you an injustice if I did not allow you to go. Like this is a better path for you. Like you're gonna put yourself in a way better position to provide for yourself and your family. Like I will be wrong if I kept you here at Hofstra.
Yeah, it shows what kind of coach you are too.
Now, if you want to do what's best for me and my family, yes. If you want to do what's best for you and your family, you have to go into the portal and make that money.
Coach, I can understand it, though. Going into that David Mack, gym, and when it's a packed house on a Saturday and the band's playing and the fans are going wild, I'm sure he felt like it was home, and I'm sure it was a difficult thing to pick up and move to Alabama, of all places. That's not exactly around the block.
More of a small fish in a big pond over there.
He definitely felt like it was home, and it is home for him. And that's why it was so emotional that last game when we played against Cincinnati, because I knew that was going to be the last time that he played for us at Hofstra. Even though he had another year of eligibility, I was like, there's no way that I got to allow this kid to stay here with me for another year. So that's why it was so emotional between us. And I think he knew it also. It's like, I kind of have to go, because we've had conversations all throughout the year leading up to that.
Yeah. Coach, I have 3 kids. Mike has 1. Tony has 2 kids. I almost compare it to like the difficulty that I have when I drop my kids off of college, and that ride back is like a mixture of emotions. Like you're sad to see them go, but you know that what you're just looking to do. Excited, you just want them to have a better life than you did.
Next step in life,
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's talk a little bit. I want to get back to your playing career in a second, but we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up. And I know you have some recruits. I know you have a kid right from our backyard from Deer Park, Preston Edmead. That kid was a stud at Deer Park. He got a private school offer, I believe, in Massachusetts. Was there lighting it up for the past couple of years, and now he's coming to you guys. Let's talk a little bit about Preston.
Yeah, I love Preston, man. He's a throwback player. He's a smaller guard, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. I love him. He's going to be a fantastic player for us. I don't know how long we're going to have him, but the way that he wants it, he is a Hofstra guard.
Yeah,
he puts in a ton of work, whether it's with the coaches or on his own or with his brother who's a trainer. But that kid, he's a workaholic. He's up there with Estrada and Justin Wright Foreman. So the sky's the limit for him. He's gonna have a lot of success in this basketball world.
Yeah, Coach. When I saw that you guys got him, so one of my best friends is the district athletic director for Deer Park Schools, and he had him for a couple of years. I think as maybe eighth and ninth grader, and then he lost him to the school in Massachusetts for a couple of years. And when I saw he was coming back to Hofstra, I was a little surprised, honestly. Like I thought maybe he'd be going to a Big Ten school or somewhere, a bigger type of school. Tell me how the recruitment process went with a kid like Ed Mead.
Yeah, well, we had a prior relationship with him and the family because they used to come to team camp from since Preston was like in the 8th grade. So he was familiar with Hofstra and the staff, and I was really good friends with John, his father, and we just recruited the hell out of him. And then by the end there, it was between us and UMass, and they were still in the A10. And with them having an A10 name behind them, like I knew there was a serious threat. But we just preached, like, you could be home and, and on this basketball journey, like this is gonna be the last time that you could consistently play in front of your family and friends. Like allow them to be a part of that. Like that is a special moment. And then, I kind of related to that because I grew up 10 minutes from Hofstra.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, whether I had a good game or a bad game, like having that support system there for me meant a lot.
Yeah. That's fantastic, Coach. Do you see Ed Mead fitting into your program as far as getting a good, consistent amount of run? I mean, it looks to me like he probably can based on what you're bringing back and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see him playing a ton of minutes. Don't know. I don't know if he's going to start or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. But the way that kid is working, he's definitely going to play for me this year.
I can't wait. I'll be at a bunch of games. Mike, Tony will all be down there for a few games. We're there every year. All right. Before we let you go, Coach, just let's talk a little bit about your playing career throughout college, and then even more so during the NBA. Some of the toughest guys that, number one, you had to defend, and some of the toughest guys who defended you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the toughest guys that I had to defend, I'm going to say right off the bat was number one is Kobe Bryant. So like when I played with the Hornets, I had to play a lot of the two guard because Chris Paul and I played in the backcourt together. So I would guard the two guards. So I had to guard Kobe Bryant, D Wade, Ray Allen, like all the top two guards. So I would say Kobe was the most difficult to guard because of his size, strength, athleticism, footwork. I remember the first time we played against them, we were in walkthrough, and then we were going over matchups, and then they didn't even tell me that I was going to be going to Kobe because I wanted to see who they were going to put on him, either me or Chris Paul, and they was like, all right, well when Speedy's going Kobe, I said, when who's going who? I say, make sure you guys come on the catch. I said, we're doubling. It's not on the dribble, it's on the catch. When he catches it, you guys should be there.
Damn. And what kind of, from your memory, and it's been a minute, but what kind of smack talker, if anything, back and forth between you and Kobe, and I'm assuming more from him to you. Do you remember him being a classic smack talker, like people say?
He didn't really talk smack vocally, but I remember when he peeped that I was guarding him, he ran straight into the post and he didn't call for the ball. He demanded the ball.
Yeah. So he definitely had a few inches on you, obviously. So that's why he's going over the post right immediately once he sees you there, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It wasn't even a second thought. He went straight in the post. I was like, you can come, but we're doubling you. So
yeah.
I just didn't. The catching on the block. That was my job. I just didn't allow the catch on the block. I knew I was getting a double fine.
Wow. And as far as your game over the years, who did you find would be was the biggest lockdown, get out of my face, killer defender?
I would probably say my very first year, my rookie year, I matched up against Muggsy Bogues, who was a gnat, and I had no idea. And before the game, my vet, Eric Snow came to me. He was like, "Listen, Speedy, if Muggsy Bogues is on you, do not try to over dribble." He said, "Just pass it to somebody else and let them bring it up.
Swing it."
And I'm like, dude, I'm from New York. I got New York type handle.
Yeah.
So I went out very first possession. I'm doing my thing, boom, 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 boom. And he stole it. I said, "Oh," and I looked at E Snow. E Snow was just looking at me like,
I told you.
You're right. Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's crazy. So funny. Coach, as far as you're obviously a very young guy still, so there's a lot left on a lot more meat on the bone. Obviously, Hofstra, God willing, you stick around for several more years. You have any other dreams, aspirations, anything else as far as your kids? Like, just tell us a little bit about what's on the left on the bone for Speedy.
I lived out 2 great dreams, man. So after this coaching thing, I'm just gonna kick back, relax, and kind of just enjoy watching my kids grow up, man.
Yeah, watch the kids, get the grandkids.
Because
Eventually.
in this basketball world, and when you're on this journey, you miss out a lot.
Yeah.
On family time and everything that your kids have going on. So once I'm finished this coaching thing, once my contract runs out, like I'm not extending my contract. Like I'm
That's an
gonna
exclusive.
retire, and I'm going to watch my kids grow.
What do you got? 3 years left, Coach? How much is it?
No, I have 5 years left.
5 years. Okay, good. Well, I mean, you know that you're adored by the Hofstra community. I know that every time I'm at David Mack and they announce your name, the band starts blaring and the drums start thumping and the people start going nuts. That must still feel, even though you've been in that gym now for so many years, it still must feel absolutely out of this world, I'm assuming.
It is so surreal. You have no idea. Yeah. Every time I walk into the arena now, I just think back when I was a player and now that I'm the head coach, and I just can't believe the type of career I had as a player and being that I'm the head coach, head house. I'm talking about every single time I walk through the arena, I just look around. I'm like, man, I can't believe this is where I'm at in life right now.
I think the coolest thing, we've seen this happen many times, especially in college sports, where sometimes an icon from a particular team winds up getting a coaching position just because of what they did. Yet you took over the head coaching job in 21, and you are one hell of a coach. I've seen enough games with you, Coach, and you are an ass kicker. You know how to talk to your players. Like I said, my buddy Dennis thinks the world of you, and you're obviously made a major impact, even more so in the past few years than maybe you even did in your first few years at Hofstra back in the day. And that's kind of a testament to, I assume, who you are and how you were raised. And, we're really, like I said, we're very proud to have you on the show today. And thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.
You're a Long Island legend. Listen, like I said, I knew about you in East Meadow in high school. I went to Hofstra for a while, and, we adore you.
Thank you so much,
love,
Coach.
Man. That's love, man. I truly appreciate you guys.
So if you talk to Coach Catalanata, you can tell him that we were fun and easy and knowledgeable, and he's got nothing to be nervous about when he comes on next week, okay?
I got you guys.
All right, Coach. We'll see you out at the games, okay, Coach? You take care. Be well.
Thanks, Coach.
Take care. Bye now.
Later.
What a terrific human being, man. That was fantastic.
That was very cool.
Really cool. It's when we're talking to Long Island legends like this, and we'll have Coach Catalanato on next week. I always have to hesitate to not try to blow up Mikey's head too much, being that he's a Long Island legend himself, Tony.
It's true, I know.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Speedy.
No, he knew. It's like you don't want to embarrass you.
Exactly, I know.
He was, they know that you were born in Levittown, and you made the lengthy
East Meadow, and I went to school in Rockville Center.
Right. So, you've been around the island.
Exactly.
So
that's right.
It's really a cool thing. All right, let me go hit up a couple of more ads, and we'll go back and we'll do some Mikey and Marky time, as they call it. Is that what they call it?
That's what the kids call it.
Maybe they should call it that.
That should be the name of the podcast, I think.
Probably. I don't know. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I just spoke to this young lady today. Eric Haft at Sunray Services. Now is the best time to convert to hybrid heating and cooling. Call them today at 631-231-5533 or visit them online at www.sunrayservices.com. That rolls right off your tongue,
right.
doesn't it? www.sunrayservices.com. We have our fine friends at Triple M Professional Painting and Construction, 516-395-6390. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Call for your free estimate today and ask for James. We have Dimitri's Valet Cleaners on Wantaw Ave in Levittown. They have been in the dry cleaning business since 1965. That's a little bit younger than you, I think, Tony. They take your garment care seriously. Quality is their policy. Mention Hershey and the Keegs for 15% off of your purchase. And then we have Scotty Potty, Demolition Specialist, 1855 Ripouts, the number you call for demolition, dumpsters, and fence rental. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They are a fully licensed demolition contractor. And then we have New York State licensed real estate person Diane Keegan.
Whoa,
you might know her.
I met her.
Lovely woman from All Island Estates Realty Corporation. You can call Diane directly at 516-458-1864 or email her at diane@allislandestates.com. If you're looking to
Buy,
rent,
sell.
Tony, what else?
Adopt.
Correct.
Yep.
Make Diane your first call. Well done, Tony. 516-458-1864. That's the wrap up on the Hershey and Keegs sponsorship. What a wonderful time we had with Coach Speedy Claxton.
Great man.
Or Coach Craig Speedy Claxton.
You know, he goes
I'm going to go ahead
either
and
way.
mention all
Claxton,
of the
Speedy Coach Craig.
corrects. Again, and not to be repetitive, but certainly it's a thrill for us. Obviously, we do this show for a number of reasons. When we started it 3.5 years ago, I think probably first and foremost just to hear ourselves talk, because that's what comics like.
Yeah,
we like the adulation. We like people telling us they enjoy the show. We like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
It's filling the hole, the void
Gets
that
us
we
out of the
have.
house.
It's just so many things. But listen, it will never not be cool to talk. What is that you have?
Mint.
Oh, I thought you were chewing tobacco.
No, it's
okay.
mint.
You look, you were hiding it though. It's like like you.
I don't
want to
make a big scene.
like a squirrel. It'll never not be neat to talk to a Steve Summers or a Speedy Claxton. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but I try not to look back at the list that we've compiled. But I think for a couple of guys and Tony,
Mark, do you ever look back?
Yeah.
And think about how far you've come.
I don't know, but maybe we should.
Do you ever take the time to reflect?
Maybe I should.
Maybe you should.
I should probably ask someone that question once. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Speedy clearly. When I was in high school, we used to go to Hofstra basketball games.
Of course you did.
I used to spend so much time at Hofstra. They used to have a football team. I used to be at every football game.
So the football team
Remember that,
sadly
man?
ended. Well, because I used to go, and I bet you did also, to the Jets training over at
Yep,
training
Jets
camp at
training.
Hofstra. Yeah.
I used to love going to football games at Hofstra.
So the
My whole
coolest thing.
football
Oh,
team
and
would
thank
go.
you, Tony, for bringing us to Hershey Bar. By the way,
Hey,
thank you very much.
thank you, sir.
If I remember correctly, and you probably are a little bit closer in age, or maybe it's in the middle of us, but Wayne Crabette went from being a Hofstra wide receiver to just playing for the Jets.
To playing for the Jets,
Yeah.
and then owning a bar next to Hofstra. Remember
Called
the-
Crabette's,
the
yeah.
old Crabette's, remember that?
Again, and we probably can have callers or listeners tell us about this, but Crabette was not drafted to the NFL. He was just a free agent, and then they just
He was like...
he showed up for practice one
yeah,
day, and
yeah.
he's like, "Is this Hofstra practice?"
Yeah,
And this is
he
no,
was-
that's not what happened.
He was like
but-
Steve Prefontaine. That's,
But the crazy thing about it was he wasn't just a guy playing on the Jets. He was a star on the Jets.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like legitimately a star.
Yep.
So
Right out of Hofstra.
another Long Island kid. Was he from Long Island?
I believe not. I don't know. I have to look that up. I'll have to-
Either way, he was a Long
do my
Island
research.
legend, and
I don't think he was from Long Island.
you tried to get hired in his bar, and
I
he
did.
He didn't accept
Didn't
you,
accept me.
which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you were a kid who lived close by,
I know. I was a bartender here on Long Island.
right?
I never got the
With
job
a following,
at Crabette's. Yeah.
you never got it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
I hate him.
Me, you, Tony, Haft, a bunch of us, we've done some fun things together.
Yeah.
I think a game to go see Coach Speedy together.
We'll have fun, man. I love going
Yeah.
to that gym. I love going to games in there.
It's great,
Yeah, we'll have
and
fun.
again, my buddy Dennis, who did us a super solid. He's a high up in the athletic department over at Hofstra. He was able to secure Coach Speedy for us, and he got Coach Frank Catalanato, MLB player, and coach of the Hofstra baseball team. He's coming on next week. So we definitely can go down to a game, see Dennis, maybe say hello to Coach, and really be terrific. So I think that, again, regardless of the level of fame that this show reaches or whatever it is, it's just awesome for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we were invited to Matt Serra's barbecue a couple of weeks ago, and we went.
We were incited.
We incited a riot at his barbecue.
Yeah, we were invited there. We were invited to Peter Schwartz invited us to the draft party.
That's right.
You know?
And then Peter,
we're doing things.
I hear Peter Schwartz was talking a little shit about Mark Hirschman today on the show.
Oh yeah,
I heard that a little bit. You want to tell us a little bit what happened, Tony? Without talk. Well, it's not talking out of school. It's a show that he spoke publically about me.
Would you like me to find the?
Yeah. So Peter Schwartz.
All right, give me a minute, and I'll pull up the audio.
So Peter Schwartz is a WFAN personality. Been in the New York media for maybe 30 years. Was a guest on Herschy and the Keegs about a year and a half ago, whatever. And then soon thereafter, he started to do a show here at Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Still on FAN, still calling games. He's an announcer for the Ducks and other local teams.
I should reach out to him. I'm going to the Ducks game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, reach out to him for sure. You and Juliana and Carla?
And no, just me, Juliana, and her friend.
Okay. Yeah, reach out to Peter, and maybe you can get a free duck.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a free duck.
A quacker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And Wayne Krebet's from Garfield, New Jersey.
Right, so he's from there. But apparently...
Peter Schwartz.
Pierre Schwartz, yeah, it's right down by the pier. Apparently he was speaking about Hershey today on the air. This is news to me, but we're going to see if our crack producer staff...
A little cross-show rivalry?
Yeah, I don't have any rivalries with anyone other than,
I know.
What? Hold on. Yeah. All right. So you let us know.
Yeah.
You let us know. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about other things.
All right, hang on. I think this is.
All right. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Our producer Tony Walker and Peter Schwartz talking about Hershey and the Keegs minus the Keegs.
Really good Rolodex. 35 into my 36th year of being in sports. That I have that good Rolodex to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Hershey is very, very jealous of my Rolodex.
Yeah.
Hershey and the Keegs. I got Tony to laugh. Because listen, and Hershey and the Keegs, they do a wonderful job with their show.
Thanks.
And Hershey has been trying to build up their guest list, and he'll write to me, and he'll say, "You won't believe who I got on the show."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I have announced a big guest on the show, he's like, "You son of a gun." Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at all the contacts that you have. And so it's like, it's funny because he's so jealous of the Rolodex, and I've tried to help him.
Yeah.
I've tried.
Oh, yeah.
No comment.
No comment from you on that?
Yeah.
He is so jealous of my Rolodex. And of course, when I say Rolodex, I mean, no, who has a Rolodex anymore?
Yeah.
This is my Rolodex.
Hershey has a Rolodex.
Mm-hmm. I'll take you out of Rolodex.
So
Peter
every
Schwartz,
time we pump up somebody who's going to be on the show, he's like, can you help me out with this? And I'm not going to say who the person was, but a few months ago, he asked me to try and help him get a guest on.
Yeah.
And it was literally like, I never really had a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
But I called a few people who did, and I couldn't help him out. Like, he would have been better off asking me to get Wayne Gretzky on the show than this obscure person that he asked me to try to get on.
Gary Thorne.
And I couldn't help. I felt terrible because I try to help him whenever I can.
Yeah.
And then
Without results.
There was a point where we double booked the same guest. Do you remember that? When
No, we
double
didn't.
booked the
No,
same
we didn't.
guest?
No, we didn't.
And I waited.
False.
I listened. Like, he doesn't get the same guests that we have. Hopefully he will have built up his Rolodex at some point. But I waited, and then I wound up getting that same
One of
guest
these days,
on the show
Mark.
like a few weeks later. But I wanted to be nice to Hershey. But make sure you do listen to Hershey and the Key, because they're very, very funny.
Yeah.
Even when they're not talking sports, they're hysterical.
Thanks,
So
Peter.
make sure you watch it. It's tonight, isn't
Well,
it, right?
yeah.
Tonight at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Peter Schwartz.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping Hershey.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting? So let's do fact check. What is it? What do they say? That's like Snopes and fact check. We did not book the same guest, as a matter of fact.
Rebuttal.
He's talking about Nelson Figueroa,
Yes.
who was on our show was booked well ahead of him, and then he booked after.
Yeah.
Wasn't a double booking. Like me and Tony and you had the same guest last week. Sheba Mason was on our show on a Tuesday, and then next day.
But she was promoting something she had locally.
And there was no, but it wasn't a. It was a. We just booked at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
neither of us knowing. Nelson
Tony
Figueroa was booked and on our show,
Yeah.
and then Peter was booked him right before that. I believe is what happened.
Yep.
So that's a fact.
I already
number
told
one.
Nelson Figueroa not to do our show.
I'm sure he did. Hold on a second, Peter. My friend Peter Schwartz. Now I'm a little bit hot under the collar here. What's interesting is saying so jealous is actually not correct. And I'll tell you why it's not correct. Because when he books someone, typically like I do, I'm a supporter of everything you do, and I'm a big supporter of everything you do.
I support you too.
Yeah, but I'm just
great.
saying. But if something's good happening in your life, I will go ahead and say, "Hey, man, I'm happy for you. Love
And
you,
this
bro."
is how I help that happen.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how I help facilitate that good thing that's going on. In your
That's a
life.
good point. You're good. All right, stay with me on this.
All right,
You're on my side of this.
I know
one.
I am.
Later we can
I'm
do
on
this.
Peter Schwartz's side.
I can tell. Hold on a second. But in this particular instance, though, I just will go ahead and say, dude, that's awesome that you have Job on. Not like, holy shit, can you get me Job? I'll never say that. I've never said that once. I never would say that.
I don't think that's what he said, though.
He said I was very jealous. Didn't he say that?
He did say there was some jealousy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
not accurate. And
I was a little jealous when I saw he had Job on.
Yeah, me too. But the one thing I will kind of defend us about a little bit, as far as building up our Rolodex, I would say for two guys who started a podcast 3.5 years ago with no other than being comics, of course, getting comedians a little bit easier, but no training as far as in the sports media world, never worked for a radio station, nothing like that. I would say if you look down the line of people that have been on this show, and tell me if I'm wrong, and you too, Tony, you're talking about Steve Summers, Mark Malusis, Anthony Recker, Evan Roberts. We've had on, obviously, Speedy Claxton, Coach Calonato, Matt Serra on multiple times. Again, maybe I'm
Chris
kind of
Monty.
I'm patting myself on the back a little bit here, but I think we've done okay.
We have.
We've had some
We
help.
started from the ground up.
We had Pig Vomit kind of help us
Well,
raise
Pig
up a little
Vomit
bit,
was a
especially
big-
at the
big
beginning.
facilitator
At the
of,
beginning time, especially.
Yeah. Where's he been?
He's busy. No,
I know,
it's
I'm
okay.
kidding.
He's done enough for this show. My point is that I think we've done okay.
We have.
For not having a Rolodex for 30
and for
years.
and for not too long in the business.
3 years
yet.
plus to be able to hustle and do what we do.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of
and,
you. I'm proud of Tony. I'm proud of Sally.
Yeah, me too. I wish we had Sally. My God, God, do I miss Sally?
Proud of Sally for getting out of here.
So, but you know what, Peter Schwartz, more power to you. Thank you for pumping up our show. I think jealousy is a little bit of a strong word. As far as what I have, I don't think that's true.
that might have been
like so jealous. I'll show you the text messages. It's nothing like that. It's like, hey, way to go.
No, I want. Listen, I love Peter. I want him to do well here. I want us to do well here. We're a team.
Yeah, I think he was horsing around. We're all one big family here.
Good, very good.
And I just want him to make me look like a big shot tomorrow at the Ducks game. So I'm gonna be nice to him.
that'll be good. Shoot him a text and see what you can do, and then he'll go ahead and he'll talk on the show about how we got you.
How much he did for Hershey and the Keegs.
Yeah, I got Keegan a quacker. Wow, big deal. All right, very good.
I got him a selfie with Quacker Jack. The
now that my
mascot.
blood pressure is raised, let's go ahead and talk
you're doing
some
great,
other stuff.
Mark.
Thank you. You were doing stuff also. So, where did we see each other this weekend? We were together this weekend.
We were. We had
oh
breakfast
my
the other
God.
day.
We
nice
had
breakfast.
I will tell you, Mike's a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. We got a text, I guess it was Friday, that Mikey's longtime close friend, Frank Loicano, who he's known since he's a little boy, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know a little bit only the past couple of years. He's a show fan, and he is a very, very influential part of the significant charity called Think Happy, which is a wonderful charity. Please look it up. Anyway, he and Mikey were meeting up for breakfast on Saturday, and then I got a text to come join them. And me, Mike, and Frank went to the Apollo Diner in East Meadow.
That's right.
And we just shot the shit for,
We were there for a couple hours. It was nice. It was great.
And I had a Bosco and milk, chocolate milk, as Frankie said, a little chocolate milk. I had a little egg whites and wheat toast and hash browns, and Mikey had a little
mushroom
sweet cheese omelet with
Yeah.
up mushrooms and a little white toast. And
Nice. Rye toast.
yeah, we could have sat there forever. I mean, we all had things to do, but yeah, it was great. Like, sometimes you just need to be able to kind of take a deep breath and sit down with friends and have a good little meal.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
That's what we did. See, we hang out off the radio. This
We
isn't
do.
Just,
It's not just like Mike and the Mad Dog where they
Yeah,
hated each
yeah.
other.
No, we love
hate
each
other on air and off.
Yeah.
But Frankie sprung for a nice meal for us,
Yeah.
and you know what? Again, please, if you guys get a chance, and we talked about this last year. Frank is very influential and involved, I should say, in a wonderful charity called Think Happy. Think Happy essentially does good things for children who have suffered loss, whether it's loss of a parent or a sibling, and they will just show up at a kid's house and give them gifts, a video game system, tickets to a show, to make those sad lives a little bit happier.
Yeah.
And Frank suffered a loss when he was a young boy. I believe he was 16 and he lost a sibling who was maybe 2 years younger, approximately,
3 years
Mike. Is
younger,
that
yeah.
right?
That 3 years.
And Frank, a few years back, decided to give back when he found out about this thing.
He's a good guy.
And we went to the fundraiser. You guys remember, and Mikey and I got to spend time with Dwight Gooden and Bobby Nystrom and Jiggs McDonald and Benoit Hogue. And we just had a wonderful time. It was myself and Mikey and his boy Vinny Capozzi. Mike and I just talked about it with Frankie the other day that we are going to be going back to the event in the spring.
They're trying to do it a little bigger this year, too. They might do it at the Coliseum.
They might do it at the Coliseum. One thing I know for sure, regardless of whether they do bigger or not, we're doing bigger. So it's going to be me, Mikey, Vinny Capozzi. We will invite our crew, Tony Walker. We will invite Haft and Monty. Yeah. And the truth is, if anyone else out there wants to come, we can't guarantee you'll be sitting with us because we are a little snobbish, but we will definitely have you sitting in the same room as us.
We will do a meet and greet maybe after the event.
We will do that also.
We'll wave to you across the
I don't know if we will. I'm just saying, we don't want to make false promises like Peter Schwartz does. But ultimately, we will. We'd like you to come, and we heard speeches that day that touched both of us. I don't think I'll never not go back to that event.
I know. Yeah, I go every year, and it's great.
As long as that event's happening, we will be there.
Yeah.
And is it because we want to go ahead and weasel our way into guests like Gooden and Nystrom? Absolutely,
yes.
It is. But beyond that, it's a great charity.
Yeah.
I think it costs like $100.
It's a great night out. It's $100. You get a gourmet meal,
and
bar.
drinks, and Chinese auction, and
they auctioned off a real Chinese this year.
That's a little small
little
one.
Guy.
Next year they said they're going to go up a grade.
Do Vietnamese next year.
So please kind of put that in your mind for the spring. Anyone wants to come, you are more than welcome to. We wanted to give Frank a little bit of a pop because he's just a swell guy, and he took good care of me and Mikey. And I think, Mike and I talk about this all the time. It's not just the friends that we've made directly in comedy, but sometimes the connections we make out of them. So for me, I would not know a Frank Loicano if it wasn't for me knowing a Mike Keegan.
That's right. Exactly.
So
I'm
thankful.
Comes around full circle.
Yeah, good begets good.
Yeah, that's right.
And honestly, this guy Dennis, who is a big shot at Hofstra Athletics, I met him a few years ago. Max was playing baseball on his son's team. This was years ago. We became friends on Facebook. Me, him, and this other guy, Keith Caruso, who's a great guy. We have a little thread. We talk about sports and shit like that. And they always ask me to play poker with them.
Do you play?
I never do.
Okay.
No, I never do.
So.
But the point is, I asked Dennis, I'm like, hey, we'd like to have these guys on the show. Can you facilitate it? And he did.
Yeah.
And so again, good begets good, know, and I appreciate the help.
Be good to yourselves and each other.
That's right. Exactly. Let's, there's a couple of things that I didn't hit on last week that I'd like to hit on that were in my notes, but we ran out of time because we had Sheba Mason on. We had the guy who plays her dad, Jackie Mason, Ian Mason. And We had Anthony Mason was on.
Anthony Mason
from above.
Mason Crosby was on.
Yeah,
There
that's
were a
right.
couple Freemasons running around.
Oh my
here.
God, they were building bricks outside. Yeah. Everything okay?
Perry Mason.
Perry
Oh,
Ma-
good.
Perry
Very
Mason
good.
was
Thank
there.
you, Tony.
Tony.
Wow, very good.
Perry Cuomo.
But I didn't tell you this story that I had wanted to, and I wanted to ask your opinion on it.
Governor Cuomo. All right. Yes.
How much did I get into the story on air about what happened to me on the bus ride home from Binghamton? Did I
You
tell
didn't?
that story?
Yeah, no. We wanted to get into it. We didn't have time.
So I didn't tell that the week before. So basically, I'm going to tell the second story after then. A few weeks ago, I drove my middle daughter, Anna, back to college. I helped her. We drove her car. I helped her unpack into her new house. And then we left her car there, and I hopped on the bus right back from Binghamton to New York City, and then a Long Island Railroad train home.
Yeah.
And I knew this going in, that the bus.
You're like John Voight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question about it. I was like in John Voight and the Champ.
Yeah.
What movie?
What was that movie?
Wow.
I don't know. John Voight goes on a bus. I don't know.
Okay, that's what it was called. John Voight goes on a
John
bus.
Voight
It was a
goes on a bus.
documentary about him in 7th grade. Anyway, I knew from being on a bus before from the city to Binghamton that it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
But I did that because I love my kid and I didn't want her driving back to school by herself. I didn't want her moving all that shit into her house.
Yeah.
So bring her to Binghamton. She drops me at the bus stop. And I'm locked in, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I got my headset on. I have all my my Sissy Boy music loaded up from the cruise, and I'm like, I can definitely play these 72 songs.
Doing yacht rock all the way home.
I'm yacht rocking my ass off. So anyway, I get on the bus. And I do pay for a little bit of an upgrade so I can sit right next to the bus driver.
I'm sure he loves that.
Well, you know what? It's an interesting thing, but
Are we there yet?
The psychological thing is that if shit goes awry on the bus, you're not buried in the back.
That's
You
right.
can go take the wheel, jump off the bus.
Like
I'm just
Kramer.
thinking,
I am Batman.
Exactly. So anyway, we get on the bus, and we're on the bus for about, I'd say, 8 minutes. And the bus driver makes an announcement that we have to make a stop at a rest stop. Now I'm thinking, I understand that sometimes the rest stop's not going to be equidistant to the halfway point or something, but 8 minutes
8
sounded
minutes is,
a little bit premature.
That's poor planning.
And it just seems like what if someone has to make a sissy the whole rest of the way? You know what I mean? So anyway, he makes an announcement. And I'm like, that's a little peculiar, but all right, whatever, you know. And then I hear him furiously on the phone with first the Pennsylvania police and then the New York State Police.
Yes.
And I'm close enough that I'm hearing the full-blown conversations. Even though he's like in a pit down low, I can still hear. Yeah. And it turns out that he's...
this guy next to me won't stop talking about King Cullen.
That's exactly right. So he goes into this tirade to the multiple police departments that before the bus stopped in Binghamton, he had been in Rochester, and there was he picked up a ride. Someone came on this man, and a woman was trying to force her way onto the bus to get the guy off. It was her boyfriend, and she was making a crazy scene and cursing and screaming, and said she was gonna fuck the guy up and all this lunacy. And then he got the guy on the bus, got the woman to get off, and then he just left and went to Binghamton.
Yeah.
And everything was fine, okay? He gets to Binghamton, picks the rest of us up, and then 8 minutes into the trip, he looks into his rearview mirror, and the lady was up his ass,
no.
following us
Oh, boy.
in the bus, following behind the bus.
Now you're Sandra Bullock in Speed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, she's like tailgating, like she's almost like hitting the bus.
Oh my God.
And this guy's freaking out.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I can't get this thing over
he's
55
like,
miles an hour.
He's like, I don't know if there's a lot of kids on the bus. I don't know what she has. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you prevent this from happening in Rochester? Why is this a development right now in Binghamton on the way home? He never established that. Anyway, we get off at the rest stop, but the rest stop is like still another like 10 miles from when he's calling, and he's telling the law enforcement, like, I don't know what she's capable of doing. There are kids on the bus. She might have a piece, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself into here?
Boy.
Can I just ever have some solitude ever in life? And of course I cannot, right? So he gets off at the rest stop. He stands up and he starts screaming to the guy in the back, you got to get off this bus, because this crazy lady, she pulls up right next to the bus, by the way. She's right next to us. Law enforcement's nowhere to be found. And she's out there and she's hot. You know, she's going wild. She comes up, she starts banging on the door. And the guy is sitting there he's just chill. He's in the back. He's just like this. He's like happy with life.
Yeah. This is the 10 minutes of peace that I've had
He's
in the last
happy,
3 months.
you know? So he's like, I'm not going anywhere. And then he's like, you got to get off this bus. There's kids on this bus. Shit can go, you know, we don't know if she's got a gun. Everyone's like, gun? Like, everyone's like, so.
We don't know if she put a bomb on the bus.
Right, like he went from doing a good job to keeping things calm to having the whole bus frantic.
Yeah.
And of course, my heart is pounding out of my chest. I'm like, you know, I'm all white cotton mouth. I'm like, this is how it's going to go for me? You know what I mean?
This is how I go.
So anyway, he demands that the fucking guy get off the bus. He opens the door. The guy gets off the bus. Lady goes fucking ape shit, gets him into the car, and they speed off into the sunset. Thank God.
Oh my gosh.
So he's like, all right, everyone get off the bus. We're going to take a break. Everyone go.
Like,
you know.
no, like this is, no, now we go. Now we just get out of here.
Right, no, now he wanted to take his sweet ass time.
I know.
He's like stopping for snacks. People can go get the cigarette break. And I'm like, what in the, just go, just get out of here. Like, what are you doing? You know? But the previous part of that was that when I was at the bus stop in Binghamton, there was this, there's no other way to say it. She was like a cracked up fucking mess. And she was roaming around the bus stop, and she's like, you got $2, you got $2, you got a lighter. And I was strategically avoiding her because I didn't even want to have a confrontation of even discussing anything with her. But I had seen that she had went to the window and she had asked the guy at the window for $2 and all this stuff. And I heard her say, I'm from Buffalo. So I'm like, thank God she's not going to be on my bus. She's going to Buffalo. You know, I was so excited that she was going to go to Buffalo. So half hour passes by. I walk. Of course, there's 14 bays where there could be buses, and my bus is in the 14th bay. So I walk down all the way to the end, and who's laying there passed out cold on the cement? Cracky is there.
Oh my goodness.
She's laying on the cement, and there's a cop, like a transit cop, whatever he is, and he's like kind of not kicking her, but he's like taking his leg and trying to like move her over a little bit, and she's not budging, you know. And the reason why he was doing this is because he wanted to see if she was going to be on the bus to Binghamton because we were leaving. So I just walk up and I volunteer to the guy. No, don't worry. She's going to the bus to Buffalo.
Oh my God.
And can I just tell you, she pops up like she had been wide awake, like she wasn't passed out cold. She's like, I never told you I was going to Buffalo.
Oh my God.
As a matter of fact, I never said a word to you. You were eavesdropping. We talked to the guy.
Like, how do you get involved in this?
I said I was from Buffalo. I wasn't going to Buffalo. I'm going to New York City. So mind your goddamn business. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, what did I do here? I can't just shut my fucking mouth.
No, you
for
can't.
2 seconds.
You can't. Can you just keep your mouth shut?
So we get on the bus, and it's huge, the bus, and of course she's sitting behind me. So I'm like, well, there goes my whole ride. And then 8 minutes later, the episode happened, and I'm like, oh my God. So now at least that is taking precedent. So I go of course, during the break, I went into the shop to get a bottle of water, and she was doing her shit, like, you got a lighter, you got $2, doing all that shit. And I fucking went ahead and I just bought her a lighter and I handed it to her. And she said to me, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. We're friends now. Thank you, baby. And that, so needless to say,
the two of you lived happily ever
from whatever in PA we were to the city, it was peaceful.
Oh,
it was good. Yeah.
How do you get involved?
Everything.
There's no reason.
Nothing. No. That was my bad. Like, I totally had no business.
That's a very Mark Hirschman thing. No. She's from Buffalo.
Very Mark Hirschman thing. Like I opted to the cop, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "No, I'm not from Buffalo. I'm from Buffalo. Now I'm not going to Buffalo." So that was that. Fast forward, we get home. I get on the train, and I just make it to the train to Wantagh. Now, needless to say, by this point, you could imagine that I am. It's been a day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I left the house at 7, drove 200 miles, unpacked my kid to the 3rd floor of her house, which was 400 degrees, got to a bus, almost got killed twice by a crack whore and by a sniper in the back. So you can imagine I'm like relieved to have my slice from Rosa's in my hand, and I'm sitting in. So I run into the train, and there's a 4-seater, and I just go. I tuck myself in the window of the 4-seater. Okay, as the door's about to close, a family of 4 walks in. Okay, 2 little girls, like 10 and 7, a handsome dad, a nice-looking Rosalind-looking mom, probably heading to like Jericho Syosset, and the 2 girls and the mom sit in the other seats, and then the mom's like, "Well, I guess you can stand up," to her husband, and I'm like, "Fuck, man."
That's why I never sit in the 4-seater, because I know people are gonna.
Well,
sit
that's
there.
where the seat was.
I go in the 2-seat. Yeah.
So, and the pressure of the world is on me. Like, they're like, hey, man, like, like we're a family of 4, and like you're sitting here, and
I'm your dad now.
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't say a thing, but I'm like, I'm not getting up. Like, I've had a fucking day. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a day, and I would say from Penn to Jamaica, it was just eating me up alive. Like, I felt bad, but I also didn't want to stand up because the standing area was packed. It was packed, and I'm like, I don't want that in my life right now. You know. Fortunately, at Jamaica, someone in a 2-seater got up, and I was like, I'm going to sit here. Why don't you sit over here, Dad?
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, sir.
And so it worked out okay. Now, my question for you and Anthony, who probably wasn't listening, is, should I have gotten up originally and stood up?
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
You were there
all right.
first.
So you're not going to say
Unless
that
it was
this
a
is
pregnant woman or an old lady.
No. It was just a family. They had bags from M&M's company, Mars bars.
He's had it easy his whole life. He could stand.
He looked like he had it easy.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he had it easy. And I can tell you one thing. I had it a lot harder that day than he's ever had in his
that's
life.
what he's saying. You never know what somebody's been going through.
Right.
So just be nice to everybody.
So you think I did okay then?
I think you did, yeah. You did for once, you did the right freaking
Thank
thing.
Thank you. But the Buffalo thing, you don't think.
No.
God, I was so...
Keep your stupid mouth shut.
I don't know why did I have to just...
Because that's what you do.
What if she just would... What if she just stayed there? Like, why would it bother me? Like,
exactly.
I should have just left her there. Yeah. But I was excited that she wasn't coming on my bus. And what I did in turn was I woke her up out of this, whatever it was.
You're an excitable boy.
Yeah, I am. But, well, that puts a bow on Herschy and the Keegs for Tuesday, September... 8th.
What a day, huh?
We had a great day. We had Speedy Claxton on. We're appreciative again of Dennis popping him up. He was a wonderful guest, and we will be at Hofstra in a couple of weeks, or months, I should say, to see some games. Before we go, Mikey, let's talk about some activity you have coming up. I know there's a lot.
There's a lot, but the big thing this Friday night, I will be at the Cutting Room in New York City with Steve Maglia. He's a Frank Sinatra tribute act, and he's
not
he
an
does a
impersonator,
show.
not like
he's not an impersonator. He's a tribute, and he does more stuff. He does the Dean Martin. He does the Sammy Davis, and he has a whole big band. He does this once a month at the Cutting Room. It's a big Italian event.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing the comedy before, and then he comes in, does the Sinatra with the big band.
Yeah.
So that's Friday night, 8:00 at the Cutting Room in Manhattan. I think there's some still tickets available. And it's going to be a great night. Usually Monty opens up for him, and I'm going to be doing it this time. And it's a good...
So tell me, how did it come about? How did
Monty does it a lot, but he kind of wants to switch it up because there's always the same people that are going to the shows. All the big wig Italian people. I think Tony Danza goes to this thing.
Okay.
Chaz Palminteri goes to it, and Monty recommended me to him, and he called me up, and I had met the guy previously one time, and he's seen me, so. I said, yeah, come down. It's a nice gig. It's a nice little payday.
Cutting Room's nice room, yeah. Good.
Beautiful room. So, yeah, Friday night. It's going to
be
fun.
Are you in any of the local clubs this weekend that you know of?
Nope. That's my only gig all weekend.
Okay.
So,
although, knowing you'll get a little call last minute.
Yeah, you probably.
Hey, come host here, come feature here.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right, good. See. Very good. All right, Anthony Walker, what do you got with the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Tour, my friend?
October 4th, we'll be in the Giggle Room. Joe Pacino, Alec Quinn, Danny Keene, Greg and Rob, Ali Cam, Andrew Fremder, and Mike Pachetti is... is
Mike
headlining.
Buschetti.
Mike
You know what?
Buschetti, that
Buschetti's
lunatic.
awesome to see. Tony's awesome to see. Greg and Rob are awesome.
I've heard Greg and Rob are great. I know who Buschetti is. I've seen him perform. Greg and Rob are fantastic.
Greg and Rob, they're twin brothers, and they go up together. It's great.
Tony is his game is heated up. As always, I'll put it out there, Tony. You want to help me? If you want me to help you punch up, tighten up at all,
absolutely.
Let's go
sure.
ahead and run
Let's
your
do
stuff. Yeah, I'm happy
Thank
to
you.
do that. So please make a note of if you're in the city, you have Mikey on Friday night in the cutting room. You have Tony with Mike Buschetti from Howard Stern fame. You have Greg and Rob, who are twins, I believe, who do a show together, and then some other acts on there as well. Yeah, and as always, you obviously want to go to govs.com. Governor's main room is anticipated to open within a few weeks. You have the Giggle Room right here in Levittown. You have the Brokerage in Belmore, which is a fantastic room. Yep. You have McGuire's in Bohemia. You have Gov's Comedy Club podcast, all the wonderful shows. Our show, Tony's show, Daily, Knock 'em Dead. You have Peter Schwartz's show, Nick Graystone's show. Just so much to do, so much to watch, make people laugh, make people think about things that are not the hardships in life, and I think you've succeeded in life. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening.
Share it to everybody. Share this. This is great.
Share it. Even though Mike doesn't, you should.
Yes.
Next week we have Major League Baseball former star Coach Frank Catalanato, head coach of Hofstra Baseball. The dude hit 330 one year in the major leagues. He had 291 career batting average, had 500 ribbies, 100 home runs. I mean, this is a legitimate baseball player. Frankie Cat. So from Smithtown, New York. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you. God bless.
Good.